So, Paul, we'll kick off the second section with the Daily Mail and a probe into alien spacecraft. To be fair, it's the only language they understand.
Yes. So this is all about the UFO hearing that's going on in America in Congress at the moment. Yeah. Whistleblower David Grush suggests that people have been murdered as part of a conspiracy to keep alien spacecraft a secret. Now, the big story here, because I know Cresta's not big on aliens, I think the big story here, ultimately, is that we've been lied to over the years. Yeah. So what we're... I'm absolutely fascinated by this story. And by the way, if people have been murdered to try and keep this secret, they were murdered in vain, because it seems like all the details are coming out on an almost weekly basis now, so they needn't have bothered.
However, well, they might have been murdered decades ago. I mean, they might have got through the Cold War and everything is out now. But
the truth never sleeps.
Exactly, and that makes it perfectly okay.
Is that an X-Files slogan? I don't know. I bet Joe Rogan...
The truth is out there is the X-Files.
That's it. I bet
and
Joe
Rust
Rogan...
never sleeps was Neil Young.
Having a lovely week. No worries.
The truth never sleeps. Sorry, yeah, no, I mean, I'm just struck by that.
No truth till Hammersmith.
So I don't know if...
I don't know if it's the truth. Is it the truth, Paul? This is
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
You want like a remake of Scully and Mouldy?
Yeah, us too. I don't know. I might be Cresta. You might be getting which
or
one's
is it Molly and Sculder? I'm going to call
it. But I would say we're never going to know the truth, though, are we? Are we ever going to know the truth?
The weird thing is, I think most people of my generation and of my background in this country have always assumed that the UFO thing was a particular sort of quirk of the Midwest in America, where people live surrounded on all sides by vast cornfields, like essentially agrarian deserts. They're isolated. They're not getting the internet and all the rest of it. And lights, probably, possibly one or two low-level stealth bombers or something are being tested out. It's not impossible that something happened, but this kind of stuff builds up. Just with this latest thing, it seems like people with a bit more credibility than that are coming forward and saying, yes, something has been going on. I'm not saying it's true, but there's definitely something a little bit more, tangible to become interested in than...
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, I can believe it. I can believe it. Yeah. Well, one thing I would say is everything's kind of anecdotal evidence. So somebody heard somebody else or knows somebody or worked in the environment where they could know. Yeah. Nobody's coming along and saying, well, I've met all the aliens. I mean...
No, but there are groups of people here agreeing that they all saw the same thing, which is kind of unnerving. I mean, I just don't know what to make of it. I couldn't believe it when I was reading it. It's absolutely extraordinary.
In a book called Demon Haunted World by Carl Sagan, which was a great sort of set text from the New Atheist movement, because it was very much about maintaining scepticism and not allowing superstition and religion and so on to wash back into America, as written in the late 90s. He talked a lot about the ability of people to persuade themselves and for these things, these kind of contagions to take hold. And this was the thing, in kind of a rural community or in people without any kind of access to, I suppose, data or not part of a government. You can just... this is what's weird about this. These are people who work for NASA. These are people with PhDs and so on, who have, you would think, some grip on reality.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more to come of this. And like I said right at the beginning, the big story here is that it's quite clear that if any of this is true, the US government have been lying to people for decades.
Well, hopefully it's going to continue to provide some scintillating evidence.